Well, whether it was watching a skyscraper burn down in the towering inferno or watch Robin Williams as Mrs. Doubtfire, the city by the bay has been the backdrop and the front yard for many of Hollywood's greatest films. Here to talk to us today is the founding president of the Friends of the San Francisco Film Commission, talking about how we can bring back the golden years of film to San Francisco. How are you, Jim?
I'm doing great, David.
You know, everyone needs a friend.
Absolutely.
So why does the San Francisco Film Commission need a friend?
Well, it gets back to that age-old thing of not having enough money. So there's always been like Friends of the Park, Friends of the libraries, you know, various friends groups, because quite frankly, the taxpayers don't allow them to have the kind of money they need.
Right.
And this is such a vital industry, so it's one of those things where if we don't support them, we are going to lose them. And fortunately, we've been doing very well in the outdoor shots, the exterior shots. That's doing great. But as far as the old sound stages, like where Robin Williams used to shoot on Treasure Island, we don't have a space like that these days.
Right. And you know, it's hard to recreate San Francisco. I mean, you know, people say, oh, well, they film in Toronto, they film here because it doubles as San Francisco. You know, some of the films I mentioned, The Towering Inferno, or like last night I was watching High Anxiety.
Absolutely.
There is no duplicate for San Francisco.
No, and it's every genre. It's Vertigo, it's Bullet, it's comedy. It's, you know, I mean, it all fits very well here in San Francisco. And it's been an important part of this entire community for almost 100 years.
Right. Now, you were a member of the San Francisco Film Commission, a commissioner.
12 years.
Under Mayor Willie Brown, correct?
And Gavin Newsom.
Now, both former Mayor, well, Lieutenant Governor Newsom and former Mayor Willie Brown are huge supporters of the Friends.
We've been very, very fortunate. Our advisor and our honorary advisors included not only the Lieutenant Governor and Mayor Brown, but very famous people in terms of every industry, including Will Durst. And Robin Williams was one of our honorary advisors. And he had been for almost a year, and we were hoping to do something with him. And tragically, we were unable to.
Right.
So what's happening now is we're doing an event on February the 9th, and we are actually giving an award in Robin's name to Chris Columbus. So here, the maker of Mrs. Doubtfire, Home Alone, Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, if San Francisco has a director, a filmmaker, a writer that is more a San Franciscan than Chris Columbus, I don't know who it is.
Well, he even got the studios to shoot here for rent instead of going to New York. So that shows the kind of power that he had.
Right.
So,
what does the film industry mean to San Francisco? And I don't just mean on a conceptual basis. I'm talking about jobs and money.
It means a lot. When I was first appointed in '96, the film industry brought in close to $100 million that year. And that's a lot of money. And so it's funny, people come up to me and say, well, why are you supporting rich people? We're not supporting rich people. There are only about a 1% margin of people that are actually rich in show business, and especially filmmaking and television. The rest are average Joes, you know, trying to pay their mortgage, trying to send their kids to
Well, and it's also
school.
Not just the filmmakers, it's the caterers, the florists, the taxi drivers, the people. I mean, that's what I think a lot of people don't realize about the importance of the film industry is the trickle-down effect.
Right. We just had some information from Susanna that Hulu shot 10 episodes here of Chance, and they brought like $7 million with them to spend here. They spent $2 million on the crew and the actors. They spent $5 million on actual, you know, sets and caterers and everything else, and they qualified for the rebate program. So they got something like $790,000 as a rebate. And the reason they did was because they did shoot and hire locally. And it turns out that when you look at it from every aspect, for every dollar the city gave them in a rebate, $9 came back to the community.
Right.
Now, what other industry do you know where you could do something like that? I mean, literally, it's a good business decision for the city.
Now, the event on the 9th is it a dinner? Is it a concert?
We're calling it a tribute dinner. It's not really a gala. It's black tie optional, but it's going to be.
Well, it's the film people, so you never know what we're going to wear.
You never know. Yeah, you can wear whatever you want to wear.
Yeah.
You know, attire is, expected.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
So no, it's going to be a great event.
And it's going to be at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco.
Right.
And what does Chris Columbus think about this? I mean, this is a guy who's no stranger to getting awards, but it must mean something to be recognized by your hometown.
Yeah, I think it does. We were honored that he would let us pay tribute to him. What we did was we went through a friend of his, Gavin Newsom, our lieutenant governor, and said, if you can get Chris Columbus, that's who we'd like to try to honor on the very first one of these things. And it took several months to get the okay back. And I was worried. We almost decided, well, we might have to give up on Chris, but he came through. Yeah. And I think he's moved.
Now, this is going to be, you said, the first of an annual award. Yes. And is the hope that you will be doing ongoing events to help fund the Friends of the San Francisco Film Commission?
That's the whole idea. The mission is to do exactly that.
Because you're a nonprofit, and you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart and the love of the film industry.
Right. We're a 501c3 under the San Francisco Center for Economic Development. It's a mouthful. Which is a department of the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce Foundation. There, I got it right. Right. I was afraid I wouldn't get that all out, but yes, we're a nonprofit, 100%. And I think that's exactly what people are looking for these days when it comes to good government, being supportive of organizations like this. I mean, for ages we've had the Friends of the Library, like I said, Friends of the Park. But this is really the friends of an industry that is kind of invisible to a lot of people, but means so much in the big picture.
Well, I mean, some of our first concepts of what San Francisco is come from film. I remember being a schoolboy on my first date with Laura Quisenberry, which tells you how long ago that was since...
How is Laura?
Yeah, I was about to say, we're actually still good friends, but certainly, yeah. Anyway, my first view of San Francisco was at the Byrd Theater in Richmond, Virginia, watching What's Up, Doc? And I said, boy, I got to visit that place. You know, what I said, you can't duplicate the magic of San Francisco.
You're absolutely right.
What was the first film that made you think, I want to support this industry?
Gosh, that's a hard one because I've always loved film, and Citizen Kane was a movie that I detested when I was a kid, and I saw it on a big screen. And I thought, oh my God, this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. But San Francisco, Harold and Maude was a movie that touched me a great deal, and when I found out it was made here, I wanted to come here. And that happens with a lot of people. The film industry in San Francisco isn't just about filming. It's about creating an image for the city that's lasting. Some people, I've asked people what their favorite film in San Francisco. One guy told me The Maltese Falcon. I said, well, that wasn't even shot here. Yeah. But maybe 3 minutes of it was shot here, But they still equate that film with San Francisco. Right. And it brings people in. It's a magical thing.
Now, we talk about the economic impact of the film industry on San Francisco. Have there been some films that you felt should have been shot here that weren't? I mean, there have been a bunch of movies lately. They always seem to love to destroy San Francisco in science fiction.
No kidding. That always bothers me when I see San Francisco going up. But yeah, it's interesting. Terminator 5, Arnold Schwarzenegger had shot a few days here and then went to New Orleans where they had replicated the Golden Gate Bridge. It's like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. If you want to shoot the Golden Gate Bridge, we got one. It's right here. You don't have to build it. So yes, to answer your question, sometimes it bothers me that we lose films. But what we're trying to do also in all this mix is at some point build a sound stage that is something that's similar to what we had on Treasure Island.
So, I mean, we only got about 20 seconds left. You've got a goal in mind, not only to help the industry, help the commission, but actually build something.
Yes. We would like to partner with a company that wants to partner with us, to coin a phrase from Maltese Falcon. If you go to these cities like in New Mexico and in Arizona and New Orleans, these companies have come out of the woodwork, built fine studio complexes there, and they're taking our business away from us.
Well, hopefully we'll have something to actually help the San Francisco film industry and a place to go and help them shoot it.
Well, thanks
Jim.
to you. I know we'll do it.
You're very welcome. We've been speaking with Jim McCullough, founding president of the Friends of the San Francisco Film Commission. We know where we're going to be on February 9th at the Fairmont Hotel, honoring Chris Columbus. I'm David Perry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on 10%.